Sunderland's 27-year-old owner just hacked football with a Hollywood movie. Everyone was convinced this spoiled kid would burn the club to the ground. Meet Cyril, the heir to the Lewis Dreyfus fortune. At 23 years old, when he decided to buy Sunderland in 2021, fans weren't exactly thrilled. Despite being six-time English champions, they've already suffered a lot, and were already in League One. So with the kid in charge, they thought they were doomed. Though he'd soon shock them even more when he decided to base their transfer policy on a movie, Moneyball to be exact, which is about using data to find undervalued players others ignore, and building a winning team without spending huge. But then the unthinkable happened. After a decent start to the 2021 season, they sacked their manager despite being in third place. The fans were shocked, upset, and quite angry. It was ruthless, but Cyril had a plan. They looked to bring Roy Keane back, but instead went for Alex Neil. It took some time for him to adjust, and they dropped further down the table. But out of nowhere, they went 13 games unbeaten, and after 4 years in League One, they were promoted, winning the playoff finals. Cyril had earned the respect of the fans, and they had a great manager, or so they thought. After just 5 league games, Alex Neil left for Stoke. Injuries and loan recalls meant their strikers vanished, and suddenly Sunderland looked doomed again. But there was something that was going right. Remember their Hollywood transfer approach? Well, it was actually going quite well. Players like Amad Diallo and Jack Clark were tearing it up, and the new manager Tony Mowbray, who they called Uncle Tony, was impressing. In a season where they expected to be in a relegation battle, Sunderland were in the playoffs. They just fell short, but the fans didn't care. They couldn't believe how much their new young owner had changed their club. But there was a storm brewing. Diallo went back to United, and their main striker left too, and the club didn't really replace them. But they still played well under Uncle Tony, and things looked promising. Until out of nowhere, despite being in the playoff spots, the club sacked Uncle Tony. The fans loved him, but like 2 seasons prior, Cyril had a plan. They gambled on Michael Beale. 2 months later, the fans hated him, results tanked, and he was gone. With an interim manager, they finished 16th. Cyril's plan had failed, but not completely, because they were about to make a statement. In a bold move, they made Lebris the new manager, and fans were cautious, as many hadn't heard of him before. At the start of the season, no one expected them to stay up, and suddenly they were in the playoff finals. But 1-0 down, it looked over. Then in the 77th minute, the 18-year-old Mayenda scored. The stadium exploded, but extra time was coming. Before the ref could blow his whistle, in the 95th minute, Tommy Watson, at just 19 years old, scored the goal that sent Sunderland back to the Premier League for the first time in 8 years. If this 27-year-old cracked the code once, can he take Sunderland to the Premier League title?